Hi guys, welcome to my Booktube channel. My name is Eden. I am 26 years old. I'm going to be doing regular type of Booktube videos here and there, book hauls, reviews, whatnot. I have some cool ideas for some themed videos. They'll take longer to make, but I'm going to put in the effort. So before I told you a little bit more about myself, I thought I would start off with a book haul and just get that right out of the way. And I'm gonna start with Albert Camus' The Stranger. It is about a man that is called to his mother's funeral, but he sort of has no feelings about it. He's very indifferent to that, to his mother's death, and just to his life in general. It's sort of an existential work of literature, which is what Albert Camus is known for, mostly existentialism and absurdism. I just love these red classical bindings, you know. It even has a black and gold spine. Up next is John Green's An Abundance of Katherines. I usually don't read a lot of YA, but this interested me. The premise is just kind of silly, but it just sounds really cool. This guy gets dumped by 19 girls, all called Catherine, and he goes off on a road trip with his friend to try to forget about it. He tries to make an equation to figure out why he was dumped. Yeah, because math is gonna help you out on that. So yeah, interested to see that. Up next we have Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This is a fictional work, or a weird fiction work. It has to do with 5 researchers that go deep into this forest called Area X, and it's mostly uninhabited and hasn't been touched by civilization for a long time. And there's supposed to be some horror elements and science fiction-y elements in there, so I'm very interested. It's actually part 1 of the Southern Reach trilogy, so I'm hoping I end up liking it so I can pick up the other 2. Up next, oh yeah, we have Chronicle de una Muerte Anunciada by Gabriel García Márquez. I'm a big fan of Márquez's work. I think he's one of the best magical realism authors out there, and he's from my home country, Colombia, so I have to read this. Chronicle de una Muerte Anunciada would be called in English Chronicle of a Foretold Death. Yes. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think it's about 2 brothers that decide to avenge their sister by killing the man that dishonored her. I'm not sure about the details, but I think that's the basic gist of it. Next is some more magical realism. I have book 1, book 2, and book 3 of Haruki Murakami's Ichiku Hachiyon, or 1Q84. Next book is Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoyevsky. Fyodor Dostoyevsky, as some of you might know, he's considered one of the best Russian writers ever, and his novel Brothers Karamazov is also considered one of the best novels ever. Now, people might think, oh, Russian literature, 19th century Russian literature, it's probably really depressing, cold, snow everywhere, and while they might be not very far off from that, this is actually very funny and very uplifting. There are a lot of religious themes in it, not very subtle, but still very enjoyable read so far. Next one is 2666 by Roberto Bolaño, or 2666. This was probably his magnum opus. As they say, it is comprised of 5 or 4 different stories, all around this fictional city called Santa Teresa, which I believe is based on a real Mexican city called Ciudad Juárez. Is it Juárez or Suarez? One of those. Anyways, very bleak and dark. There are supposed to be some gory scenes in it, There's a lot of violence, especially against women, and that's kind of the main theme of the book: violence, crime, and rape as well. And how the police, local police force, isn't really doing anything about it. I'm always curious to read posthumously published work, so we'll see how that goes. And finally we have Horrorstor. I picked this out at random while I was at a bookstore. I just saw it and thought, why is there an IKEA calendar for sale here? And it turns out it's a horror story about a IKEA-like store. Lots of weird things going on in it, lots of unexplained, broken things, and like I said, it looks exactly like an IKEA store calendar. It has the products on the front with prices on each of them, and it has like a little map of the store, which is called Horrorstor. And in some chapters, it has even little diagrams of furniture, so that's kind of funny. Alright, on to the introduction or whatever. Like I said, my name is Eden. I'm 26 years old. I live in Florida. I am a computer animator. I specialize in concept art and illustration. I like it. Very fun. I get to express myself in art, which is great. My reading habits. I usually read a lot of fiction, non-fictional work. I will probably read a couple of chapters of a book, and I'll probably read like 2 hours a day. So it takes me a while to finish books. I'm not a big reader like a lot of people here on YouTube that they read 10 to 15 books a week. That's not me. I wish I had the time, but you know, with full-time job and freelance work and some other side projects that I'm doing now, I just don't have the time. But either way, I still try to squeeze in as much reading as I can. I try not to read too much YA, which is what I see most often here in YouTube. But if you guys know of something really interesting and really unique, not cliche, not dystopian, let me know, because I'll probably get into it if I like it. So that's it for my first video. Let me know what you guys think. Give me any recommendations based on what you saw. I'll look into them. And subscribe and hit like and all that stuff. Okay? Bye.